Hi, this video we will look at CPRD database. CPRD stands for Clinical Practice Research Datalink. It is a real-world research service database supporting retrospective and prospective public health and clinical studies. So if those of you who are into clinical trials, this may not be quite relevant to you. This is more for those of you who are working on real world evidence, real world data, then it is relevant to those areas. CPRD database contains anonymized patient data from United Kingdom. So basically UK based data from general practices. So GP practices across the UK, they collate the data, and this CPRD database contains all that information. This database is pretty old. It's been there for a couple of decades, and they have millions of patients data as well. Here we will be talking about CPRD Gold database. There is also CPRD Aurum, but we will discuss that at a later time. Here we will be focusing on CPRD Gold. The difference is in terms of the different softwares that are used to collect the data. In CPRD Gold database, we have different tables. One is patient, second is practice, staff, consultation, clinical, additional clinical details, referral, immunization, test, and therapy. And there are also some lookup tables. And we will be discussing each of these tables one by one. Let us start with the patient table. The patient table contains patient demographics and the patient registration details. We'll discuss about the variables later on, but just we'll get an overview of all the tables before we go into deeper for each table. The practice file, the second table that contains practice file contains the details of each practice, including the region and the collection information. And the next is staff. For staff, we have staff details, one record per member of the staff. Consultation, in this file, it's related to type of consultation, and consultation can be linked to events that occur as a part of consultation using the cons ID, CONS ID. Basically, it's a linking variable connecting the consultation with the events. And the next is clinical file. In clinical, it's more about the clinic signs, symptoms, medical history, diagnosis. So all this information are collected in the clinical table. Here the patients will have more than one record per patient. Can have more than one record per patient. It can be used to identify any death and diagnosis. Next is additional clinical details. This file contains events basically that can be connected to the clinical table. So you can capture additional information here using which variable? Add ID. AD ID is a variable that is common to clinical as well as additional clinical details table, and we can connect these two, join these two tables using AD ID variable. Next is the referral table. Basically, it contains information about the referrals to external hospitals, external care centers, including both inpatient and outpatient care. Next is immunization table. Immunization basically contains immunization details for each patient. Next is the test table. Tells the kind of test used. The test name is identified using entity type. The variable name is ENTTYPE. It's a numerical value which represents a specific test used by the general practitioner. There are 3 types of test records: 4, 7 or 8 with different data fields like data 1 to data 8. Next is the therapy file. It contains details about all the prescriptions given by the general practitioner. Here also the patients may have more than 1 row per record, 1 record per patient. Drug products and appliance information is provided here. So here we discussed about the therapy as well, the last one, and there are also the lookup tables. So now we have got the overview of the different tables that are there. Now we'll go into each table and discuss in detail. Thank you. For details about the rest of the tables, please watch the remaining videos.